Last section of client communication, scaling relationships through communication. That's the goal. We want every relationship to scale, to grow, to be bigger, to pay us more so that we can all win, right? They're winning from all the content they're getting, and we're winning from having a healthy business relationship and making more money. A lot of this stuff is going to be repetitive. I'd prefer if you just went to the PDF and read through this. It's all super good information. I'm going to walk through it. You can follow along. But communication is the backbone of a retainer-driven business. Communication is the backbone of every relationship. If you don't talk, if you don't communicate, it's going to die. And so the more we communicate, the more likely we are to have these long-term relationships. Strategies for scaling communication without losing personalization. We don't want to put them into a system and let them just fall at the wayside of being robotic and things just don't feel personal. Always make sure we're having a personal touch, and that's part of the culture too. So communicating with your team who is maybe you're not managing that client as much anymore. You want to make sure that your team is part of that and they're communicating just as if you were communicating with the client. Standardize where possible, but personalize key touch points. So, make sure we're standard we're standard, but also personal. Batch updates strategically, delegate with confidence, and that's part of building that culture. Managing multiple retainer clients with Tyson Media systems. So the only way you'll scale, the only way you'll grow is if you have systems. So we need to have an organized approach to how we're actually communicating. So centralized client communication tools, we know this, Asana, Slack, things like that hold people accountable. Clear ownership, which is also an Asana, making sure people are held accountable. Scheduled reviews, so definitely review things. Conduct weekly internal meetings to review status of retainer clients. You never want to get to a point where a client doesn't feel heard, right? Because you can grow and get to that point. Set expectations early. In the onboarding process, we establish that communication channel so clients know when to expect updates and how they can reach us. So one-off projects are a thing, and we hope to build those into long-term relationship clients. A lot of the times your relationship with clients start as one-time projects because you want to prove yourself. You don't just want to talk, right? Especially in the early days when you don't have a big reputation to build from. You want to use communication and all these tactics to take them from one-offs to long-term clients. So showcase value early, communicate the benefits, offer a retainer proposal, especially as you're working for them. Just tease the idea that that's where we want to get, right? And then nurture trust through communication, upselling through communication. So this is where we identify what a client needs, but then we're going to upsell them on other things we think they could use. So this is communicating, proactive listening, regular business reviews, framing the upsell as a partnership, using results to build confidence. So go through all this, read it. It's super good information. But ultimately, we just want you guys to be good communicators, good people, so that you can treat your clients like friends. And if you're like, hey, this is a lot. If you're like, hey, I don't really know how to incorporate this or actually how to do it, I will coach you. We will sit down and we will go through these conversations you're having. We'll look at recordings that you're doing with your meetings, and we'll break them down, and I'll help you implement all of this into your communication. I'll hold your hand, I'll give feedback, and help you avoid mistakes that I made in my early days. That's what I want out of this. Thanks so much for being a part of our client communication course, especially if you've gotten this far. I know it's not the most exciting topic, but it's so important. It's probably the most important thing. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next course.